Hey guys, today we are moving into day 2 of logic. So our learning target is that we will learn about symbolic representations of those statements from last time, so that we can represent statements with symbols instead of words, and then you should be able to write the symbolic form by the end of this. So this first block is kind of a review. If today is Tuesday, is our P. Then today is a weekday, Q. So for if then, your symbol is just the arrow. This comes from our conditional statement. So to represent this symbolically, I would say if P, then Q. Alright, also a little bit of a review is our negate symbol. So remember, negate means opposite. And that symbol is that little squiggle. So, if our P is that the Cowboys did not win the game, the negation is that the Cowboys did win the game. Even though they probably shouldn't, because go Redskins. But anyways, if they did not win the game, the negation is they did. And so we represent that with this negation symbol. And this is statement P, so I write squiggle P, which means not P. Alright, moving into some new symbols. First of all, we have the and symbol. So I like food from Wendy's will be P. And I like food from Taco Bell is Q. So again, you can just look at those key words rather than have to deal with the whole sentence. So the way we write this symbolically is P and Q. So our and symbol is this sort of arrow facing upwards. You can remember it because it looks like an A. If you just draw a line through the middle, it looks like an A. Sort of similar to and, we have or. These have opposite meaning, and the symbol is opposite. So or is the same thing, it's just upside down, so it looks like a capital V. So I like hanging out with friends is P, and then we have or I like playing on my computer is Q. So the way we write that is P or Q. Alright, 2 more symbols to go. Next up we have if and only if. So that is very similar to our if then, but it's a statement that has to go both ways. So if this part is true, then this, it has to go backwards as well. That is why it's if and only if. So since our if then is an arrow, our if and only if is an arrow that points both ways, since it has to go in both directions. So 2 angles are supplementary, can be P. If and only if the sum of their measures is 180. And that is true. They're supplementary if it's 180. If it's 180, they're supplementary. So that's why that arrow goes both ways. So to write that, we write P, if and only if, Q. So notice that when I'm reading these, I say the letter for the part of the statement, and then I read the symbol just as it is. So P, if and only if, Q. Alright, last but not least, we have therefore. So I remember the symbol for therefore because it starts with a T, and it is like 3 dots that make a triangle. So we have all those T's there to help us remember. So your symbol is just 3 dots that if you look at it, if you connected them, would make a triangle. So T for therefore, T for 3, T for triangle, helps you remember this symbol. So to translate this symbolically, we have if I'm at school is our P, then I'm with my friends, Q. I'm at school. So this is a little bit new from what we're used to seeing. it's a continuation of one of these statements. So I need to make sure I use the same letters. I'm at school. Is that Q or P? It comes from P. It's the same thing. So I'm going to also label that P. Therefore, I'm with my friends. That one comes from Q, so I label that Q. So to represent all of these symbolically, first we have if P, then Q. And then we had just P. And then we ended with therefore Q. So I write my 3 dots, Q. Let's take a look at this one practice below, and then we will wrap up the video. So right here, we have a P and a Q already given to us. So relationship between two angles, consecutive interior are those keywords that I'm going to think of for P. And then they add up to 180, so I'm going to notice 180 for Q. So the relationship between two angles, consecutive interior, you see that keyword that comes from my statement for P. So I label that with a P. And I'm going to circle that keyword. They add up to 180, which is Q. So to write the answer for this, it is going to be P, my symbol for and then Q. Alright, the next one, the relationship between two angles is consecutive interior. That's my keyword again for statement P. And all it is just a sentence. It's the exact sentence of P, so all I can write is P. Therefore, another keyword, they add up to 180. 180 comes from Q up here, so I write Q. So to write my symbolic form, therefore Q is my 3 dots, Q. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you in class.